Shazam.
Dude, that was funky. Where'd you come up with that?
I was inspired.
Yeah, by what? What was your muse for that intro?
I had 10 minutes until you guys got
Okay,
here.
and today,
And that was the first.
Jen is on the podcast today.
Hello.
Hi.
What was that?
I don't know. It just felt right.
And it's Jen,
Don't.
reoccurring
Oh,
guest, Nick's sister.
That's what you're not
Hello.
supposed to say.
Why?
Because we have to keep it on the down low.
Oh, that you're related?
He doesn't want people to know.
Yeah.
Mm.
She has a high important job. You know what happens if they trace her.
God, that's
They
right.
start tracing her back to me.
Canceled.
High
Yeah.
security.
You'll get canceled
You're
real
getting
quick.
Canceled, dude.
Just from knowing me.
Yeah. She's
I have been on
associated.
the podcast twice before.
Yeah,
so
but
they
those
listen
different
to
times.
those.
Yeah. I mean, we blew up since then.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We got
So,
a bigger audience.
we got larger. We reach more, crevices.
Yeah, we're
Wow.
huge on the junior high market.
Young adult, I believe they call it.
Oh, young,
YA,
YA,
YA.
It's a YA podcast.
The YA genre is quite popular.
To be
I don't-
honest,
I don't
I've never
listen
been a
to podcasts.
fan of that.
our sense of humor
YA.
is YA. Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. We stopped. We peaked at 16, dude. We're done.
Speak for
Peak
yourself.
too sooners.
I didn't peak then. It's just my humor.
No, you were a late
stayed
bloomer,
there.
doggy.
Did I?
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah. You've confessed that on the podcast before.
Did you tell him that? Jen?
No, I didn't.
I did call Jen the other day, and we
So,
went
when
over
did you- when
we
did he
went over
bloom?
some stuff
When
just
did he
about
bloom?
for your safety and health and all that.
When
We
did
just-
you bloom?
What? Describe
That's a weird
bloom.
question
No,
to ask your brother.
Well, like,
What's bloom?
coming of age
What do
or
you
like
think?
coming.
When'd you get your first pubes, dude?
Yeah, there you go.
That's not what she's asking, dude.
Well,
no, but
it
I
could be.
want to think about it. Actually, though, like when did you bloom? What would I consider?
Okay, here. Well, the literal definition is like puberty. Okay,
Puberty.
blooming a pube in puberty. But it could also be like your first like sexual experience, or it could be like your coming of age moment. I guess. See, I like the YA genre. See how
I
I
know you
used
do.
how I used that coming of age so quickly in
What's
there.
the
Oh,
coming
yeah.
of age moment? Would you say though? Like what?
It's like all those high school movies, dude, and all that. Like my wife loves watching all that stuff.
But you can come to age, I think, in like college. You can come to age as
That's
even
called a pedophile.
No. Well, depending on
A lot of that going around.
lot of that.
A lot of that. It's all
A little
over the
too
place.
much, some would say. A little too much.
I would say so.
I would say it's a little bit overdone at
You
this
think so?
point. Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, the way they're
little
trying
excessive.
to fucking normalize the pedophilia, dude, that's fucking disgusting. Go kill yourselves.
Yeah. Amen.
But so, anyways, what's that moment? What's that shining moment?
Okay, I'm trying to think. I mean, your first time where you feel like so coming of age literally is your transition from adolescence into adulthood. That's the dictionary dictionary
I know.
definition.
103 episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm still dealing with that.
Whatever, dude. Oh, that
good.
was a little stinky. Sorry, guys.
I don't.
It's not
Oh,
the stink. Is
that
it?
was brutal.
Is it
Woo!
bad?
Yeah,
I had
that
some
was
vermicelli noodles earlier, so
that was something. I don't know.
Nice
I
little
got
bundle.
woo.
All right, that's all the time we have for today.
sorry, guys. Didn't mean to cut the mood, but
Anyways.
it's when you transition.
From-
You were saying.
Well, transition also a sensitive word, but you transition
true.
from adolescence.
Strike two, motherfucker, okay? You are 6 feet from the door, and you are 6 seconds from getting kicked out of here, okay?
Sorry, guys.
is
I'm
crazy.
sorry.
It's about to be.
I'm glad I found a new
Jen and Nick.
co-host.
Yeah, I'll take that gladly. All right. Coming of age from adolescence.
I'm sick of that
into-
already now, too. Pedro, I need you back.
Yeah.
You see?
She will
You
not
see?
shut the fuck up about this young adult bullshit. How many times you have to read a book about a kid getting cancer and falling in love, and then he survives and she
Oh,
dies? It's
God.
ridiculous.
It's the other way round, but
They surprise you. They kill the one that's not
I know
supposed to die.
they really fucked you with
Every
that
time.
one. You know, I don't really like YA as much as I used to, though.
You're growing up.
I'm-
You're
I'm-
blooming.
I'm having
You're
my,
blooming.
I'm having my coming of age
blooming.
moment.
Yeah, boom.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right? Still rewatching Gilmore Girls.
You know what? You guys, I haven't. So we've been in quarantine now since what? March 13th was the last day I went to
Something
work.
like that.
Yeah.
No, I remember March 13th was the last day I went to work. I've only watched like 2 episodes of Gilmore Girls.
Outstanding. Give her a round of applause,
I
everybody.
know. Who is she?
It's not easy
It's
because
you know,
it's
like
it's
drug.
a comfort. It is actually.
Yeah.
I haven't. You know, everyone,
So why aren't you watching?
honestly, Fernando obviously does not like it.
Hold on, yeah, let's.
Yeah.
You can't just glaze
no,
over Fernando like
first-
that, dude.
Okay, but first of all, can we get back to the blooming thing? Then
Yeah,
we'll get
okay.
to
just
that.
really
Yeah,
quickly, the
cool.
blooming.
Yes.
There's a lot going on. today.
Adolescence into adulthood. So, for example,
Yeah.
like falling in love for the first time, or like moving out on your own. That's usually a normal big coming of age
what's
moment.
yours?
The rite of passage, dude.
Mine was probably moving out on my own.
Yeah.
That was
So a couple
probably-
weeks ago, you
yeah,
finally just
exactly. Woo!
That's why she
but I
doesn't like
mean-
young adult anymore.
Yeah, I've really changed.
How about you?
I was saying when I was 19, I lived on my own. He's so dramatic.
Oh no, I was being serious. I
Drama,
guess that's
drama,
true.
baby.
I've lived on my own
So
quite a
that's
bit. I've
so
just
that's when you
boomeranged.
think you.
Yeah, probably. This is getting deep quickly, but I would imagine that, yeah, because I was 19, I was living in my own apartment, I was working, and I was in a really negative, just like headspace, and that's when I started really questioning like my like existence on Earth and like experimenting
Why are
with
you
drugs.
whispering?
I don't know.
I liked it.
It
though.
felt right.
Yeah.
Can I tell this? Okay, this one when she lived in this apartment. This is one of my favorite stories.
Oh God.
So, my sister and her
Oh
were they
my
married?
God,
Were they
this is
married?
so-
Were they married
This
at
is
the time?
This was okay. Just to preface, this is almost 10 years ago. So
Give me
it's
some
just
context.
like
Okay, 10 years
context.
ago.
Almost 10 years ago, I was 19 years old.
And were they married?
She's 20 right now. No, how old are you?
28.
28.
Oh, 27. Why did I just give the wrong age?
Were they married?
Yes.
Okay,
they were
so
married.
Okay.
they're coming to visit her in her apartment.
Who is this?
My sister, our sister, and her fiance,
Other sister.
Oh,
or
okay.
husband. And then so the night they get in after traveling and stuff, for whatever reason she throws them a surprise party in her apartment with people that they've never met, thinking like, oh, this will be a good like, hey, let's have a party, you know. Just for whatever
For
reason.
no reason?
So they're, I mean, no,
for,
to
like,
celebrate.
arriving, yeah.
I mean, come on. She's trying to do it up.
But people they don't know.
Yeah, people that don't know, so they're just irritated and pissed
They were
and
so
just.
mad.
And then
After
the next,
traveling, what from
Seattle to
Washington?
Denver.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not that long.
and then there's just a surprise party of like 19-year-old kids and just.
Well, my boyfriend at the time was Andrew's age, which is pretty fucking gross if we're really thinking about that. Yeah. He was really into that. Really into that. We've really grown.
Okay.
I've
yeah,
had
we
a lot
talked
of
about-
coming of age.
Feels like we're constantly coming of age. huh?
Yeah, it never stops. But anyway, so that next morning,
I
after
smoked weed
yeah, they
on the patio.
which no, well they both hate marijuana.
Oh,
like,
okay.
They're haters.
Wow.
They extremely hate it. And then so no, I think you were like on the couch or something like that. And he wakes up and he's like cleaning, and she videotapes this too.
I'm so
She's
high.
videotaping this high, just like.
I am gonna get fired.
And then just being like, oh, yeah, right. This is all allegedly. We just make up stories.
Yeah.
Who
Who
is
is she?
All
Yeah.
the time.
But anyway, so she's like filming him, like cleaning up this mess from a party that he didn't want any part of. And you can see him on camera just fuming, just like throwing shit and just like,
Pissed
ah, what up, or whatever. And then, oh my God.
I used to smoke quite a bit back in those
The video was
days.
so funny.
I just had a little pipe. I'm sitting
I
there
wish
on
you
my
still had that
futon.
video.
I know, me
Just
too.
token on a little pipe.
Token on my little.
Is it aluminum?
No.
No,
it's
okay,
not
yeah.
aluminum. And I remember it was, but in my mind, I'm really trying to defend myself. I'm not as like embarrassed by that story now because
Go
I've
there you
grown.
go.
Because I've grown. Sorry.
Did you whisper?
But
that?
I know. I grew. This is better.
Yeah.
Is this working for you guys?
You've grown.
But I've grown a little bit, so I'm not as embarrassed by that story. But it is funny because in my mind, my 19-year-old little idiot brain, I was so deep in my party phase that in my mind, I'm like, yeah, they're like 25.
You know what it was? It was
Yeah.
Friday, and she wanted an excuse to party. And
No,
then-
I get it.
that was
I've done
it.
a million embarrassing. We talk
Yeah.
about embarrassing
Yeah.
things all the
All the
time,
time.
and I think that's what you have to kind of do. You kind of
You
take a step
reflect
back.
a little,
you realize
yeah.
you're a different person. The problem what's scary about it in cancel culture is you do this thing 5, 6, 10 years ago, maybe 3, 4 months ago, and you've changed since then. It was a
Yeah.
mistake or an accident, and you've come to grow from there.
True.
It's too bad. It's too bad you're canceled. So
I
sometimes
hate that.
I know I do too. It sucks. And there are things obviously that are worth getting canceled for. I mean, there are sexual harassment,
For
sexual
sure.
assault, violence.
Your boy Ron Jeremy just got accused of
rape.
4 cases or something like
Yeah.
that, right? 4
Holy
different
shit.
women.
Yeah,
But isn't that his job? He does porn, right?
yeah. That's basically a
Oh,
rape
103
industry.
episodes and you just burped on the podcast. How dare you?
That was my first one for a long time.
Whatever,
And it
Joe.
wasn't
Suck it.
And it smelled.
Yeah.
No
good.
scent.
It smelled
No
like
scent.
lemonade hard seltzer.
Lemonade.
It's
hard
kind of like a
seltzer.
Oh,
Mike's
mango
Hard,
lemonade.
but a Truly.
Oh, you're drinking that too?
No, I'm having a White Claw.
Oh. Anyways, when did you bloom? Would
Me?
you say? Yeah.
Probably like 16, 17.
Yeah.
What was the moment?
Yeah.
I got hair downstairs.
Oh, so we're
dude.
talking the literal
Yeah.
puberty. Oh,
That
I was
was
I
me.
was 10, so I went.
God damn,
Holy
dude.
shit.
I was 10.
When you had your first period?
First period, 10 years old.
Yeah, girls get it early, man.
Yeah, you know, I
Weird.
noticed
So
when
they
you're a
mature
little
quicker.
thicker. When you're a little thicker, you always get it earlier. I don't know what
That's
that
two
is.
C's on that thick boy.
Yeah, exactly. Thick with 2 C's was invented in 2003. Who knew?
Really?
Thick with Maxis.
Maxi thicks, dude.
Yeah,
That's
Maxi
what
Ew.
they
Thicks.
call it.
That was hard though. I mean, this is a
That's
podcast with
gotta
all
be
men.
that's gotta be such a weird feeling. Like just well,
Yeah.
did you anticipate it?
No, I was 10.
I know, but doesn't
did you
but
know-
somebody
No,
tell
I
you had an
didn't.
older sister?
Yeah, but Andrew had just gotten hers like a few months before.
She's perfect.
I
She's an
know.
angel.
Well,
she didn't even bleed. It was just a little dab.
this is
Just a Kleenex.
this is how I'm aging myself.
Cotton ball.
But
Just a cotton ball.
Oh,
And done. Just throws it out.
I'm aging myself.
Again, this
but-
is your sister's vagina you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you know.
we were a very open family. We've
We are.
never been weird about
You
that
were a
kind of
very
stuff.
open family, but nobody told you about your first
Well,
period?
no, I knew.
Was it?
Let's just listen.
Retract.
A normal girl gets their period at like 12, 13. I was in the 4th grade. You don't even have sex ed in Washington State. I think that's changed since now, until 5th grade. So I learned about my period
Yeah.
in 5th grade while I had my period
So in
already.
5th grade, you're like, you guys are suckers.
Yeah, motherfuckers, that shit's
That
gonna be
ain't
coming out of you
right.
like lava. You
It
know,
burns the first time.
Enjoy it when you don't got it. I bloom, bitches.
and I had little speed bumps and everything. But yeah, well,
We didn't
Yeah.
ask about the speed bumps.
Yeah, that's a little much.
whatever.
So you were 10 when you got your...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be wild.
It was pretty like drama. It was like dramatizing. Traumatizing.
I can imagine,
traumatizing.
dude.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah. Like mom would let me stay home from school and stuff because she felt bad.
She was always a G about that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
Georgia was the real G about staying home from school, and now
Just give me
I'm.
some R&R days. You guys need a rest day. Should get you a new video game. You guys deserve it.
That's good.
Georgia was the shit when it came to that.
What do you think that's what's the equivalent of that to a guy? Like that weird kind of traumatic thing.
Random boners? In
No,
public?
because that feels good. You don't
Yeah.
give a you
yeah,
don't
that's
care.
true. I
Uh,
teach freshman boys.
Yeah.
You see some boners?
More than-
Gross, dude.
That is gross,
You're
huh?
getting canceled for sure.
It's like they come and stand up in front of the room, and I'm like, oh
That's so
shit.
funny.
Jeff is excited about this,
Oh,
giving his
shit.
report today.
But the guy, but that doesn't register to guys. At
I
least
know.
it wasn't traumatizing to me. I think like, what's traumatizing?
I think
to a
it's like a
dude?
sense of like you don't want that embarrassing moment.
What's
and
the
in that
embarrassing moment
sense-
though for a guy?
Well,
like-
I'm saying like getting a random boner in class, like if you do have to stand up and go to the
That's
class,
true.
like I think that would be somewhat embarrassing. I don't think it equivalates to bleeding out of your fucking.
No.
No,
You know,
at
orifice.
school, that's the worst too. And every girl, I think, has one story where they
Oh, at
have
school.
bled at
Yeah.
school. I will never forget mine. And it's really weird. Like every girl you meet has some story of where they've bled in public.
Yeah.
And it like shapes who they
insane.
are. I mean, some adults even have it. Like there's times
Yeah.
where I've been like teaching at work and I'm like,
Oh,
okay, I gotta go to the restroom.
You know, Mrs. Collins, do you
Yeah.
bring any tampons?
Yeah.
Can I borrow one?
No, pretty much. Yeah.
I've been dry for 20 years.
I've had a lot of students ask me though to like borrow tampons and stuff too, and I always am really cool about it. I keep a drawer. I think
You got a tampon drawer?
I got a box of tampons in my bottom
You're the cool
desk drawer.
teacher.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
thoughtful.
Cool teach.
Because I
You
teach.
should throw
I
condoms
teach,
in the mix too and
Yeah.
fling those out like
Oh.
Have a safe
frisbees,
quarantine.
man.
Don't get me started. It's an abstinence state here in Arizona, so don't get me
what's that
started. Meaning they don't do sexual education here in terms of like talking about like safe sex. They just
Oh, they
talk
do-
about don't do it.
Oh, really?
Um,
so I
I
guess
had a sex ed class.
I think they do, but I think we practice like so.
Are we-
For example,
Are we not like mandated to do it? Is that what it is?
Well, I think it's
Or-
that, and we're also like we are supposed to teach. Just don't do it instead of like safe sex. So I
Gotcha.
know, like, I'm sure there's counselors and stuff that have condoms. Again, I don't teach that, so I don't know much about it. But I do know for sure we are a state that practices. Now I have to burp. That was so
was
ladylike,
quaint.
though. It was
That was
cute.
classy. I'm
I'm-
you're a
to do
woman.
it.
I'm
You're a
blooming.
lady.
I'm
Yeah,
blooming.
you're blooming.
Sexual
Forever blooming.
education.
Forever blooming. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good-
Oh,
here.
just don't do it. That's our like
That's what they're-
mentality. It's
okay.
Jesus wouldn't do it.
well, and
No, he was married.
it's hard too for like LGBT plus kids. I get like into this, but they don't do any like
Oh, special.
any
mhm.
What do you
you know,
mean?
sexual education for kids who are
And
not heterosexual.
Gotcha. Like
Yeah.
But,
transitioning
I mean-
or Think about the other sex.
scientifically, the same rule. Aside from being able to get pregnant, the same rules
like
about
AIDS.
STDs and all of that.
Yeah.
That transfers over. Like
sure.
obviously, you got a dirty vagina. You're gonna rub dirty vagina with this with this clean vagina. That clean vagina is gonna have dirty stuff on
I think
it.
you should teach sex ed.
I
That was-
mean, that
wow,
was
poetic almost.
Sex Ed 101 right here,
Edgar
dude.
Allan
At the Who Do You
Pedro
Think
over
You
here.
Are- At the Who Do You Think You Are podcast.
Damn.
all
They
right?
also do the sex ed.
I got a sex ed class with like safe sex in it. Like we showed
Oh, that's
pictures
good.
of,
Okay.
you know,
Where'd you go to school?
North Canyon High School.
Oh, that's why. Lots of girls getting pregnant at that high school.
yeah.
Am I right?
Oh,
I'm
100%.
just kidding.
Really? Really?
I'm pretty sure.
How-
Yeah.
how-
though.
Yeah.
You have a
No,
lot?
Ashley, what was her name?
Rebecca.
Jessica. Then
Jenny.
Don't say that name in the studio.
Oh shit.
what?
Just kidding.
Jenny.
We have to take a moment of silence. We'll be back in just a minute.
Did you actually have a lot of pregnant people
forgot
in your-
her name,
in your-
sorry.
In your high school?
Yeah, we did.
I don't know if I
It's a
had
good high
any.
school,
I don't know
though.
if I
It's
had
a good
any.
high school.
I mean, it is.
I
It
almost
had
took a
lot of-
job there.
It had a lot of
It had more street cred than where I teach.
cocaine running through it. But that was actually, you know what? That was the class before us. The class before us was high and do.
I was so
La
naive in high school.
cocaína.
I was so naive.
I was
I was
so
so
naive.
naive. I was so
naive.
How naive were you?
I didn't know. I remember sex ed in 5th or 6th grade, and I didn't even know like a penis went into a vagina.
Wow.
I didn't really know what sex even was. You know?
Yeah,
So,
me
like,
Y'all
I didn't-
never, your mama or daddy didn't sit you down, huh?
definitely no.
Definitely
Georgia
not.
would let you stay home from school, but she would
Yeah.
not teach you
I just
about.
got engaged.
birds
I'm
and
pretty
the
sure I'm
bees.
still a virgin.
Yeah,
so.
congratulations,
Thank
by the
you.
way.
Yeah, I had to slip that in there.
Well,
I am
was
now
going
off
to
the
get-
market. You better watch out.
So tell me about
Better watch
this
out. What's
shit.
that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
I think it's not watch out.
Look away,
You're
actually.
right,
Yeah. Watch out, boys! I'm coming.
But yes,
married now.
No, Georgie and last say their names.
They definitely never gave. Did you get a sex dog?
I think a lot of parents do.
No,
we
I
just never
didn't.
had
We're
that.
Hispanic. We didn't get it
Oh,
either.
true. So you're also
Yeah.
supposed to be a virgin. Well,
They
you're,
want you.
You're
to,
married
they
now,
almost
so it's
want
fine.
you to have sex. They're like, have a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
fuck
you
it.
16?
They love grandkids.
Yeah,
They
have a
do.
kid
They
already.
do. They
We'll
love
take
grandkids.
care of it.
But not out of wedlock. They
Why
don't.
is there no teen
That
mom?
depends how
Why is there no
Catholic
teen
you
mom
are.
for Hispanic?
Teen Mom Mexico?
Mama teen.
Mama teen.
Madre di
It's all the
No, that's Italian. What's adolescence in Spanish?
Adolescencia.
Oh, adolescenti is Italian. So
Close, very
So,
similar. You know, Latin based.
iguale,
Iguales.
similare.
Similar.
So,
It's the same fucking language, dude. almost.
No. Yeah, it is.
Almost.
It's really similar.
so I guess that's the next blooming chapter of your life.
It's
So
blooming.
congratulations for that.
Yeah, how
Landing
long? Tell me
Cage.
about this dude. What's
Yeah,
his-
let's hear
Do you? You don't have to do
everything.
name. We don't have
And,
to do name.
well, we already said his name twice.
Oh,
His
you
name's
did?
Fernando.
Fernandito, huh?
Fernandito.
With the Mexican spice, I see.
Mamma mia.
No, he's white.
He is as white as it comes.
That- is he
He's
really?
like you, kind of.
He gets really offended though when we say that to him because his whole family's like, "You're whitewashed, Fernandito," and he doesn't like
So
it.
Damn,
it
that's
hits
kind of-
home when you're
No,
when your own
yeah,
family's
because
saying that to you.
his whole
Yeah.
family thinks he's white,
Yeah.
and they get really mad
So
about
when
it.
a white person tells you that and validates and solidifies that
Yeah.
that thought in
right
his
here,
head.
brother.
He's a redneck. He loves like
Yeah, he has a Confederate flag on his truck. I'm like, dude, that's canceled.
fat chicks only.
Yeah, it says fat chicks only and Confederate flag. It's crazy. I'm like, Jen, who is this guy?
No, he does not. He
dips.
I'm t- okay, he's really
Camo.
not. Okay,
Camo
you know
4
what?
times a week.
I
It's
forgot
crazy.
I forgot how redneck it really could go.
How redneck is he?
He likes guns and trucks.
Yeah.
And if you ask him his name, he's not gonna say Fernando. He says Fernando.
Fred.
Fred.
No,
it with a-
but it's weird because he says all of his family members' names like with an accent. Like I was like,
Because
oh,
he doesn't know Spanish.
yeah,
so he tries
exactly.
to make
I was
up-
like, is Manuel coming? He's like, Manuel.
No, it's funny because I'm not clowning. I used to do that like not even that long ago.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, "What's your name?" and people would be like, or I'd say Pedro.
Yeah,
You know,
I changed it for
I
you.
say it with an accent. And now I'm like Pedro.
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 It's Pedro.
It's Pedro. No, but it's
Okay,
weird. It's I don't
necesito.
know because if
Yeah.
I'm talking English and I'm
Talking English.
This fucking idiot.
Speaking
I'm
English.
talking in English. Okay,
I'm talking English over here.
I'm talking English. I'm not a school teacher. Okay, Jen.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
sorry.
God damn
Who's
it,
ripping it?
dude. It's this chair. I swear to God. Hey, I swear to God, it's the
How do
chair.
you feel? How do you feel?
I'm bourbon and ribbon.
How do you feel as like a Hispanic, like super white people when they speak to you and they like?
Are they talking English?
Hola.
Well, that's one thing, but also if they go like, they use English, but they do the Spanish twist, like, "Hey, how are you?" Like,
Oh, okay.
when they try to like,
with the yeah,
they, like,
what
slow
my
down-
wife does.
yeah,
Yeah.
she does.
Does she
does
do that? Oh,
Is
that's
that-
adorable.
Is that a fact?
I do
like-
that too.
I tell her, I was like, just because you're saying it in like an accent, it's still English.
It
they're
seems
not
so
gonna
offensive
understand.
from the outside. To
Yeah.
me. I don't know why. Like, is it?
Yeah.
Do you,
Is it like impersonating a Chinese man's voice?
that's what
Or-
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like talking down to somebody. It feels like you're talking.
You're dumbing it down, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used to do that though because a lot of my friends don't speak English as their first language. So it's not that I'm like
That's
doing.
woke, dude.
Super woke. Dude, she's
Fuck.
marrying a Mexican.
She's fucking
She's marrying a bean.
becoming
He needs his card.
Michelle
She's giving
Obama.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
he
right.
needs documents.
Yeah,
huh?
right.
How
Yeah,
much is he
right.
paying you?
Look at the
9?
ring.
The ring plus 4,
Yeah.
4K.
No.
That's a good deal.
That's
dude.
a good
Loves
deal.
me.
I'd fucking
I know.
snatch it up.
You got whoa. He
What?
actually likes me.
He does?
You went
think
from
so.
love to like really quick.
I know. I think
She's still debating.
I'm not overly confident. I'm just kidding. That's horrible. I'm just kidding, Fernando.
He's not gonna listen to this.
No, he's not as woke as I am. But no, when I'm
hard to
speaking
be
to my
woke.
friends that are like first
Talking,
language
it's
is not.
talking. You're talking to your friends.
See,
First
speaking-
language is
but
not.
speak-
Continue though. Continue.
but
Go ahead.
Speaking
Go ahead.
to
Talking.
whatever.
Oh, mames.
No mames way. I talk really slow. And I hope it doesn't offend them, but their first language isn't English, so I just talk a little slower.
Speaking slow and speaking with an
Accent. I do
Yeah.
a weird fake American Brit accent when I talk to my friends that live in Europe.
like how? Give it to me.
I can't. I really can't.
Hello,
do it.
governor.
No, that's
No?
that's a
How's the weather over there?
what the fuck was that?
was that?
You sound like a pirate.
I heard Italy, the corona's gone.
That's
America, we're blooming.
America's always blue.
We even said fuck you to the who, dog. We,
Oh, I
we,
saw
we
that.
cut 'em
casting out.
cut them off.
Yeah, we're like,
we're-
fuck
You know
it.
what?
Number
That's a
one.
toxic relationship.
USA.
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 We're number one.
Oh man, are we?
In corona, deaths.
In the way that Corona is spreading, definitely number one.
I guess it's always good to be
And
number one. at
angry and
something.
unemployed people, definitely number one. Incarcerated people, number one.
By far.
By far.
That's crazy.
That's
man.
so like that should
We're super free here.
man.
So
like,
free.
Isn't that crazy? Like just that fact. Like you know it, but you don't hear it enough to be like, yeah, that's fucked up.
Well, there's so many things we don't hear a lot about, though.
Yeah.
I was talking about that this morning.
But you hear about the Confederate flag a lot. Not saying it's right or wrong,
Right.
but I'm saying like I forgot who it was that I saw this video of. Like, I have no idea who she is, but she was talking. She's like, this last week, like New York for the third week in a row, shootings are up double. Like all these homicides that are
Chicago,
happening,
yeah.
Chicago, and nobody's hearing about any of this. But I've gotten 12 questions about the Confederate flag during this press conference, and it's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, what are we
here?
focusing
And
our
I-
energy on?
and I'm not like a fucking sympathizer with the Confederate flag in any sense.
Right.
But it's like
yeah, you have it hanging up on your wall.
yeah, look
that's
at it.
that's a new one, so it's not. You know what I mean?
Oh, revised.
Yeah, it's revised.
Nice.
It's the skull with the blue line through it, like the police thing.
Yeah.
The,
Oh,
the,
Jesus.
the American flag with the blue line.
Gotcha.
I hate that. Was
too.
I like.
You hate the police? Is that what you just said?
It just feels like that thing and I guess I'm being a hypocrite because I feel like I do see that and I'm like, you piece of shit.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I don't hate
I
the
don't
police
know.
by any means. Fernando actually wants to be a cop, and he's always wanted to be a cop. That's what he went to school for originally.
He better not take a knee on anybody's neck because that'll be bad.
Yeah, he's a big guy. More to love.
Took 8 minutes.
Yeah,
Cutting it in
yeah,
half.
at least 3.5. It would be
Yeah.
dead.
That's
but
bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even said that.
no, oh my God, it's fine. Too
Whatever.
soon.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
We've been
sometimes.
fat shaming him for the last couple of weeks, so like he's just been dying to unload it onto
You
somebody
guys
else.
need to learn who to fat shame.
Thank you.
Pedro is small.
I know.
Thank you.
That's the
Thank
that's
you.
the
This is what I've been saying to myself in
Yeah.
the mirror every morning for the past 3
I am.
months.
I'm good enough. I'm
small.
smart enough. And God
I'm
darn
good
it.
enough. I'm worth it. I'm American.
Yeah. You're
He's
pretty. You're pretty. I am American. I was born in California. Jesus Christ.
Is that really America anymore?
We want to separate from
lost
them
it.
anyway. Hope they fall into the ocean. Am I right?
She has been living with your dad for the past
yeah, that's it. Facts, though. Facts. California separating
Fatso?
yourself. Facts.
I thought you said fatso.
Fatso, you listen here. Both of you fatsos, okay?
You see, but I'm actually fat, so to fat
You're
shame
about
me
to
is
get
actually,
mansplained
is actually
from the
rude.
alcoholic. All right.
Is it rude?
But no, separating California, I think, kind of the country would be a good thing.
I actually would probably move there.
California?
California
I'd never
nation.
move there.
I actually wouldn't either. Fernando's from California.
What part?
Corona.
It took you
Oh,
20
of
minutes to
course
answer his question about tell us about him.
Oh,
He's from California.
he's from Corona. He's younger than
Wait.
me. Special education teacher. He's from the town that's named Corona. Yes, I know.
Coincidence?
He's from a big family.
And how long have you been dating?
Fat shaming,
Only
not
11
nice.
months.
Yeah, that's about when Corona started. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so 11 months.
Yeah.
He's
Crazy,
from
I know.
Corona. How much younger is he?
Only like 14 months. I'm just
Oh,
really
okay.
dramatic about it.
Yeah. You just like to
Yeah.
rob that cradle, huh?
I don't know if that's even
a
considered
terrible
robbing
saying.
the cradle.
It
I
is,
know.
yeah.
It's actually really like we should cancel that saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
You have a kid. You shouldn't like that saying.
How is? Do you call her Izzy?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So cute.
Is he?
Yeah, robbing the crow. That's
My
that's
uterus
that
hurts.
such a creepy.
Is it? Are you have baby fever or what?
Oh, I've
I
had
think
ba-
in like 6
I've
months
had
you'll
ba-
have one.
I had
Oh,
baby.
that's true. Last time
no,
we
wait.
talked, I
I've
think,
had
yeah.
baby fever since I was like 16. It's from getting my period at 10.
It was blooming. blooming.
That blooming. Yeah, I've wanted to be a mom since I was like.
Yeah, she watched Gilmore Girls.
12.
She's gonna have a kid with this guy, divorce him, so she's just best friends with her little daughter. So
Yeah, he
she's
told me you
freaking out.
called it off because you found out about his Mexican heritage. That is so fucked up. And then she waved the Confederate flag.
First of all, text messages are private,
Thank
not
God,
for
thank God this
public
is all.
podcasts.
Thank God this is alleged because all of this is really, really false.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
According to
Yeah.
according to according to my friend that's
Hate to be her
Yeah.
tomorrow morning.
So when does school start?
who knows? We don't know yet.
No, that's another question.
That's
like, and
but
then
I want to get into that. Let's keep going a little bit of this marriage stuff because it's exciting about that's
big-
the
it's
story
a
of
big
that.
deal,
But I
it's
do
a
want
big
to talk
deal.
about school and all that stuff because I
Yeah,
think
me
that's all
too.
crazy
Me
too.
too.
But hashtag yo también.
you should
Anyway,
learn
so
the
yeah, so-
language, okay?
I actually know more Spanish than Fernando does. So.
That's hilarious.
Hashtag yo también.
Yeah, like his
hashtag-
grandma and mom were speaking in Spanish like when I was there last, and I literally understood like everything they were
Well,
saying.
again,
It's the
Italian. Yeah.
Because I can't really respond, but I can fully understand what they're talking
Respond in Italian, dude.
about. Yes.
That's
You're like-
probably like closer.
Yeah,
than
they're like,
English.
oh, I get it.
You're like Stephen Hawking without electricity.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Too soon. Okay, marriage.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, so you're dating 11 months.
It was quick.
A
It was
kid
quick.
soon. And when I said I can see having a kid in 6 months, I didn't mean a premature baby. I meant I could see you being pregnant before
And,
that.
like-
I just wanted to clarify myself because
Yeah.
we're on the record.
I appreciate
and
that.
I really like to comb through the things I say because I don't want to say anything irresponsible.
And that's early.
So
that's
I
an
don't
early.
say anything irresponsible on this
I don't
podcast.
think you do.
don't.
So
You're super
I just wanted to
responsible.
make sure that I
You've
said that.
bloomed.
I have bloomed.
Constantly blooming.
Marriage.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, yeah. This fucking kid too. The other day.
This kid?
Yeah.
Is he talking about me?
I don't
I'm
know.
pointing at you. Who else would I be talking?
I don't know. It
about?
feels very condescending
All right,
and
this-
ready.
this fucking
yeah,
kid.
This child.
And she's like, the other day, she's like, I don't know what to do with my car because we have the same car, the Honda CRV.
Yeah, I'm so over it.
And it's like, I mean, it's spacious enough. She's like, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, well, I want a family and I want 3 kids. And I'm like, you only have 1 kid. What are you talking? You're trying to get rid of your car? I mean, it's-
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for that mom car.
What do you
it's kind
wanna
of
get?
already a mom car.
What do you
No
wanna get?
idea. Fernando is a big guy, right? And he hates.
Oh, so that's
my
probably
car.
more of the reason.
That's that's really honestly the big reason because he has a truck, has horrible gas mileage, so we
Federal
take
flag.
we take my car
Shotgun
like
in the window.
everywhere. We take my car like everywhere, and when we're we're both big people, you know. We're
Yeah.
both. It's just
it almost looks
crowded.
like a lowrider.
And he
nose
always says he
diving.
feels.
Such a dick. I hate chiming in on like those jokes because I do feel bad for.
It's
Yeah.
It's rude.
You know what? I'm gonna edit that. I'm gonna edit that out.
No, he has lost 35 pounds in the last
He
few
does look
months.
good in those-
Yeah.
He's doing really well.
Yeah.
He's just a big guy. His
Yeah,
whole
no, for
family,
sure.
they're all big.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, it's nice for me though because they all think I'm like
But I mean,
hot. You know?
again, going yeah. Again, going back to I feel bad chiming in on those jokes, but you're her brother.
Yes, I got free
You
reign.
have free reigns. Like you could.
True.
So I mean,
Yeah, but it's gotten a little bit more like depressing as I've gotten fatter. When I was like not even fat, they would like say fat jokes to me.
It just, you know what sucks about it, dude?
It does.
No, what sucks? No.
Yes,
what
she does know what sucks about
No, what sucks about jokes and fucking around with people is it sucks like that. I don't know, as like somebody that likes comedy and likes fucking around so much. I do understand because I know when it becomes too much. No, well, I don't actually because I know I cross the line way too often, or it comes like too redundant where it's like always making self-deprecating jokes, always making fat jokes, always making homosexual jokes, whatever it is, that it is taboo, but it's funny in the way that's taboo, in the way that when me and Pedro text, the things that we text, we probably wouldn't say on this.
Oh,
no, we wouldn't say on this podcast.
You'd be canceled.
You wouldn't. It's not. I don't know. It's just like
You gotta know your audience.
you gotta know your audience. Yeah, that's a good point. But also,
Because if some of the jokes you said to me, you said to some of my other fat friends.
but I wouldn't just go to a random.
And I also know you're like tough. You can handle their bullshit.
Because I also
Yeah.
have a fucking
20
mirror.
Yeah.
It's been 27 years in this curvilicious body. I
Boom,
understand.
dig it, appreciate it.
I actually, you know what? But the hard thing about it is someone like me. I've gone through. I've blossomed. I eat a lot better than I used to.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
good.
and I'm still thicker. I'm still a big girl. Like, I don't probably eat more than like 1,400 calories a day. I eat a lot of veggies at home. Fernando makes me eat a lot of vegetables.
You're trying to really
That's
make me feel
good.
like shit
No,
for
no, no,
fashion.
no,
I
no,
thought we went from a joke.
I've blossomed.
I made a
So,
okay. First
can
of all,
we get
I
back
made-
to
no,
Fernando?
No. First of all, I made a quality joke about your car nose diving as you drive. That's a funny image.
It was
okay?
funny.
Dude,
And then
I
you got
laughed
into a
inside.
depressing fucking.
I've bloomed.
I've
I've
bloomed. I've
changed.
changed. Hashtag me too.
I eat
You're
salads.
canceled.
I'm sorry. I feel like
Hashtag
this was
stay
my fault.
woke.
If I wouldn't have said
God.
anything, I think we would have been just
I
rolling.
feel like I'm being
rolling along.
crucified.
Yeah.
You know what? Call me my boy Jesus Christ. Okay, what I mean?
Oh, that's a whole other
I'll carry the
story.
cross up. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that another story?
About
I
JC?
feel like I shouldn't because I'm getting married in the church. So I feel like I shouldn't.
Just whisper
What
it.
if they watched this? They probably won't watch.
Just whisper it.
No,
We
it's
can-
really
we can always-
intense.
Or
It's-
just
talk
color
afterwards.
yeah.
Or color it in a different realm.
It's long story short, it's just a lot. There's a lot of process
Yeah.
to get into the church.
My
and
Christianity?
my brother,
it's
is Catholic. My
and
brother's
I'm
doing
not.
the same thing.
To be honest, I'm not. But it's it's my parents are
Already
really
spilling the beans
Yeah,
over
right.
here.
My
I'm
parents,
not talking about Fernando.
We'll keep it going. We'll keep poking.
Yeah.
It's just a hard process. That's all I'll
It
say.
is a lot.
It's a lot.
My brother is doing the same thing, and like,
And it's just to appease mom
we
and dad.
had to forge.
Yeah.
We had to exactly. We had to forge.
Which is who it's all about. The wedding
always
is for
is
them.
the mom, the parents.
Yeah.
or else I'd have babies out of wedlock.
That wasn't me. What are you pointing at me for?
Oh wait, you guys got married first. Just kidding.
Well, we got married immediately after.
How far along was she?
She was a month, probably.
Oh well, that's
Setup joke.
Yeah.
How far?
sorry. I was just messing with you.
No, you're good.
Everybody
but
does
back to
that.
Fernando. So he's
Fernando. Yep.
he's Catholic, obviously. We
Well,
figured
yeah.
that.
He's
Is he?
Is he a big? Okay. Yeah. I feel like a lot of
he's
Catholics.
far
are.
more like actually like religious than I am. But like, does he want me to like go to the church with him every Sunday and read the Bible?
Does he
No.
go to the church every
No.
Sunday? Okay. Yeah.
He does want to go to like a non-denominational church, because he definitely believes in that figure and stuff.
Does he
over
have
there.
the Corinthians tattooed on him? the cross
No,
or
he has
anything?
no tattoos. He's clean.
He's a virgin.
He's a virgin. Yeah. No, he's not super religious, but it's kind of more the same thing. It's like
It's
it's
to
just
appease the-
tradition. It's
yeah.
appease the families. It's a traditional thing. He grew up going to church every Sunday.
I
But
get it.
He's very traditional in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And speaking
My
of,
mom.
Go
ahead.
I just want to do a callback to talk about Robin the Cradle, Catholic priest. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
We gotta
jeez.
support- we
Was
gotta
he an altar
support them.
boy?
No, thank
Okay.
God.
He might be safe.
They go to a church that like speaks in tongues now. They're very intense.
In tongues, like not Spanish.
No, in tongues.
Oh, I don't know if that's
Yeah,
They
Catholic.
both
They're-
sound,
it's
sound
not
the same
they,
to me.
They now go to a different church. They don't go to a Catholic church anymore.
Oh, what? So what is it?
The cult of Satan.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Fern doesn't go to that one, but his parents go to that one where they speak in tongues and stuff like that.
That's a little much.
It's
Well,
a
is
lot.
it
Is it a mega
Is it in
church?
tongues or is it like dialect?
It's in tongues. Like they speak in tongues when they're like praying and stuff. I haven't been
Do
to
they have
this
snakes?
church.
Do they have snakes?
No,
at it?
it's not like
Can you
Harry
go and
Potter.
report back?
Yeah,
to
I
us?
will. I will go
I
when we
want
go
a
to California
documentary
next.
inside job.
I'll actually wear a hidden
wear
camera.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Fern's not into that either.
Earpiece.
Yeah,
earpiece.
No,
No, but just go and check it out.
I want to see what it's
Well,
all
it's gonna
about.
be like Impractical Jokers. Hey Jen. All right, now take $5 from
Grab
the
the
basket.
snake.
Yeah, from the pew. Yeah,
Grab the snake and swirl it around and go.
Go
Because
up
that's
to the wine
tongues,
and
right?
finish
That's
the whole
tongues.
glass.
yeah. Hey,
Post Corona, can you do that?
I know. I wonder how communion's gonna work. I don't-
Everybody gets a little like a Jello shot.
That
of-
was always gross.
Mm.
yeah. I've done it.
Of course you did. You're
Lamb
gross.
of God.
I am
We were never
disgusting.
allowed to drink from the wine.
Yeah.
Really?
Mom and Dad would literally be like, no, and like elbow us out of the way.
I'd be 11 and my
They're
mom's
like, you're Catholic, but you're not that Catholic. We get up to heaven. Did you drink the wine? That was my blood. No, we didn't drink
Dude.
it. I'm scared of germs. You're out of here.
What,
That was pre-corona.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember when I was like in a catechism, and
Yeah, catechism.
we would go to. It was at a church, and you know where they have the body of Christ,
Yes.
right? So when they first told me that, like the body of Christ is in there, I was
And
like,
also with you.
holy shit!
And with your
Like
spirit,
I don't
they
know.
changed
You were
it.
talking about
I know, right.
naive earlier. I was like, is the body of like Christ is in like?
Well, some of
his
that, all
bones
of
are
that
like-
religion stuff is a little
Yeah, it's
naive,
kind
right?
of.
Yes. It's a little
Sorry.
wild.
I
It's a
just-
that was
wild.
bad.
No,
I just
Sorry, Fern.
imagined like yeah.
Yeah, as
I
a
just
child.
imagined as a child like
Yeah.
is his bones in
And
there?
then you
Literally.
bloom.
Yeah.
Then you bloom.
Then you
And you're like,
bloom, you're
that,
like,
these guys
holy
are
shit.
fucking, you know, little.
No, that's okay.
Religion is
So,
weird. But anyway,
Fernando,
church.
14 months younger,
Yeah, ish.
and he goes to a church that speaks in dialect.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't attend that, so I don't really know why I brought that. That was his family. But we're getting married in the church because, again, tradition. He's a traditional guy. You know,
Yeah.
you get married, you have kids, you buy a house. You know, he's very traditional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even both of us living with someone who they weren't, like,
Married to.
married to was, like, and it's weird because it's not like we were, like, that traditional. But even for me, who's a very liberal mindset person when it comes to like social stuff like that, for some weird reason I was the same way. I was like, I will never move in with someone until I got a ring on it or
But
whatever.
didn't you say
And-
you'd have kids out of wedlock? So you'd have a
Well,
kid before
real-
you moved into
Oh,
something?
she's bloomed, dude.
No, I
Leave her alone. She's
no, I
bloomed.
probably wouldn't. I probably would freak out and just like get married quickly. You know?
Oh, now that
I'm
applies.
I'm
Okay,
really
yeah.
not like
Yeah,
coming
you're
at
just
you, but I'm,
dishing- you're
I
just
know,
dishing
sorry.
it out at
I'm not
me.
even meaning
Calling
to.
me fat and shit. Get
No,
out of here,
you're
dude.
so
Whatever.
skinny.
You're so.
So skinny.
Kids are assholes. You are related.
You honestly really
are
are
what you eat,
skinny.
baby.
I had a rice cake for lunch today.
Uh,
That wedding diet starting. You are what you eat. I got it.
When are you gonna get married? I'm gonna get
Yeah,
married.
what
May
is the date?
1st.
Yeah, can you grab me
May 1st.
something?
Booked
May-
it today.
Wait.
May.
Yeah, this is a lot. May 1st, 2021. I will take a truly
Yeah.
May 1st.
Nice. Where? Do you guys have a venue already?
Yeah, well, we were just gonna get married at my
Damn,
parents.
y'all already planned out
Well,
completely.
It's funny because I wasn't planning.
crazy.
I wasn't planning on planning at all.
No mask.
That's the greatest question you ever will ask. That rhymed. We don't know. I mean, it's 10 months away. Who knows what
We'll
will
see
happen?
where
I
the
mean,
numbers are
It's
at.
kind of one of those things we've decided
Thank you, sir.
we're gonna
No
plan.
lime? You don't have lime?
Oh no, he doesn't.
Actually, I do, but that sounds like.
It sounds like a lot of work.
A little bit of salt on the rim.
Actually, Pacifico is so good with lime, but I don't
Salt
like it.
on the rocks with the.
May 1st. So wow, you set the date where?
Yeah, on
Donde? Donde está?
Mis padres, no, just kidding, by mom and dad's country club.
Don't call mom and dad
Bougie.
their names.
Mom and I say mom and dad.
I know, say their
What
names.
country club are they?
Steve and
part of?
Georgia. It's Trilogy in Rio Verde.
Oh, I just played there.
Oh yeah.
Do they live there?
That's where they're moving. That's where they're building
That's
a house.
gorgeous place.
Yeah, so-
dude. That course is so nice.
Well, we were, you know,
White privilege, baby. Born and raised.
White power, like that
Baby.
video.
are you sucking on the tit or
I'm
whatever?
sucking on the asshole of
that
white
white
privilege.
privilege.
Yeah,
But
I was confused about what you were doing.
happened-
I was
I was
confused at why I
confused.
even just did that, and I'm ashamed of myself.
I liked it.
Thank you.
Can you bloom, please?
I'm
Jeez.
trying.
Bloom.
I'm trying so hard, and I keep falling
forever
backwards.
Forever blooming.
30
Two.
dose. Okay.
And
All
I
right.
was, I was,
birthday.
I was
How
in
dare
dry
you.
July and I already ruined it.
What were you gonna do in July?
Dry July.
Oh shit! It's only the 7th.
I know. He told me when I got here, and I was like, you should have told me. I wouldn't have brought anything. But I think it was part of his
Maybe
ploy to
August.
keep
It's
drinking.
too hot.
This White Claw is so refreshing on a hot summer
And
day.
you know what,
I'll
dude?
tell you this Pacifico.
Music's been hitting hard
Pacifico.
lately. We've been doing this podcast. I'm working hard, man. So you know what?
You deserve
Daddy's
it.
gonna have a couple drinks.
So
And
the
I'm
country
lonely.
club, that is such a nice
Yeah.
place. The pool
We're trying to
area.
be cheap, honestly.
Where you is it?
Well, the only reason, so we originally
Because that seems like a pretty.
we wanted to do a
expensive place.
backyard.
How many people?
That was our. I'll get to that in a second because
I
that's
can't wait.
complicated. But we
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to do a
save the date.
backyard.
My address is 3844.
You're invited.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was 33.
You're going to be on
31.
Fernando's side though. If that's okay. Just kidding.
with the wall
Just-
in the middle.
just-
You can't-
Joe, 'cause you're
you can't even see
Mexican.
each other.
I know.
Are
I
you
understood
actually
that.
from Mexico? Is like your family
My
origin?
both of my parents are from.
Are from
Actually,
Mexico.
what they're
Well, I
doing.
didn't know if you're like Latin American. Maybe we're
I'm
just being
Chicano.
racist.
I'm
You're
Chicano.
It's a
Chicano.
mix. Actually, what we're doing is in the Catholic Church, they have the cry room, which we've had an episode about that before.
Yeah.
And they're actually making it like an ICE detention center, which is not a jail. It's plexiglass. It's not a prison. The
Well,
kids are fine.
Saran wrap.
There's
Some kids die
areas
in it.
where there's
There's a ba-
bars.
Yeah.
So I mean,
we all look at things differently.
Oh.
perspective, right?
It's all perspective.
Marriage.
Marriage.
Lady, come on.
Marriage.
Girls getting married.
So
Um,
what?
Boys, watch out.
I
Is
don't
The
know why I
Bachelor-
said that.
Mama's
I
thinking
say
she's coming
I
through.
say watch out all the time, and it never really makes sense. So
Welcome to this
Watch
podcast.
yeah, hey,
Maybe that's what we should be called. Watch,
Watch out.
watch out.
Watch out.
And that's our intro right there. Watch out. Just
Watch
Jen
out.
going, watch out. Oh God, don't do that, please.
Sorry.
Coming from the guy who burps
Yeah,
5 times into
seriously.
a microphone. every
At least he
episode.
does it the opposite direction, not like towards
Yeah,
me.
no.
Now.
The country club. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, continue.
No,
This-
We're
we
bad
wanted
at
to
this,
do.
I'm
I know
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. We wanted to do like a backyard wedding. Honestly, where like it's cash, whatever.
50 people.
The problem is we both come from huge families, and
We
in
talked about that earlier.
Italian families and Mexican families. If you invite like one person,
Oh,
you gotta invite them all. Like
Oh.
you can't
Yeah.
even attempt to just.
Chismosas.
Yes.
Chismosos.
Yeah.
Picateros. Word travels.
word spreads,
It does,
dude.
and
You're
Well, and then Aunt Linda is
The-
fucking offended because she didn't get an invite.
You
to
mean
the wedding.
Tia?
And the
Yeah.
tamale.
Well, I was
yeah.
talking like I was in
like
your shoes.
the white
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
The whites.
The whites.
But yeah,
I
so
was
we're
talking
at
English.
170 is the list we made this morning, but we know so many of those people won't come.
That's true.
And if Corona does persist, which it might, we just kind of said no matter what, we're gonna get married on the state in the church, and then we'll just have like immediate family and do like a nice dinner at the country club that night instead
Yeah.
of having a big wedding.
Nice.
If that's because we're both the people we didn't want the super long engagement. I was not like one of those people. It's like I want to be engaged for 2 years. Like I don't. I'm.
She's-
Yeah, well, the only thing is,
I'm really not adding you.
Dora, dude.
Sorry, I forgot that you were also engaged.
All of a sudden, you're kind of Hispanic. You just feel like you can just throw them under the fucking
I know,
bus,
sorry.
just
dude.
because you're dating a
My
beaner
new
over here.
my new last name is Gomez. It's gonna be
Oh,
Jennifer
damn.
Gomez.
Jennifer Gomez
I mean,
from
are,
the block,
are
homie.
you,
Okay.
are you even looking out?
Jennifer Gomez, watch out.
It is like I love that name.
Yeah.
Can we
Kinda,
name
yeah.
this episode Jennifer Gomez?
Jennifer
Watch
Please,
out.
Gomez.
please,
Watch out.
please.
Yeah,
Forever
that's good.
blooming.
Forever blooming.
Forever blooming. But yes, it was supposed to be small. It's not small. And
That's what she
Georgia,
That's the thing.
and Georgia, Mom. She likes to throw a big affair. So at first,
Italiano.
Italian. She's a fake Italian, but she's a white Italian, and she is a party. She likes to plan it.
She's a
nice
good
event.
host.
She's a good host.
Yeah.
She's a great host.
And I wanted to. There was
I love
actually
that.
there was a really.
My mother-in-law's a great host.
See, I
yeah.
love that. I do too. So even when at first she was like, "Well, we'll do our own invitations. We'll do this," but then I'll be like, "Well, that's expensive." She's like, "It's fine."
Holy Mom, that voice, like,
What? Does it sound like her?
it tripped me out, dude.
Really? She sounds like your mom?
That was crazy.
Was it?
No.
He's being sarcastic. My voice is so much
I was
deeper
gonna
than
say,
my
I was
mom's.
like, your mom. That's
My-
where you get it from.
No, my aunt Deb.
So 170. Who we got? Name
Well,
all 170.
yeah, okay. So
Dude, I am
starting
not
off,
170. Okay, I am
um,
at least.
I know you're not 170.
154.
Oh.
shit, that's my goal weight. That's why I had rice cakes for lunch. Okay,
Rice
so
cakes are so bomb.
a
Put some
rice
peanut
cake, a little
butter on
peanut
there,
butter,
dog.
and some
Oh,
blueberries. You better watch out lunch.
Blueberries too.
yeah.
That's
Maybe
good.
some whipped cream if you
Damn.
have.
No.
That sounds like the most racist snack you can have. I
A
feel
rice
like.
cake with peanut butter and blueberries?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that
It just
racist?
sounds racist.
Can you explain to me?
Eating a rice
Yeah.
cake with peanut butter, it just seems like
Fernando
something they
eats a lot of rice cakes as well.
whitewashed.
Yeah, I know.
Marrying a white woman outside of the heritage.
His parents are mad.
Guilty. Point at me now, Jen. Come on, just do
I'm
one
sorry.
of
I
them.
know.
Throw
Jesus,
him under the
man.
bus again.
Fuck, dude. I've been trampled like
I know,
a
I'm so
protester
sorry.
or something after.
But
That's not
it's a
funny,
lot of.
dude.
It's mostly
Just
my
think about that.
family. We have a lot of family.
Do we?
You know. Yeah.
And half those people
and
aren't gonna show up.
And that's why we're
You
kind
know
of
what's
like
the
most
shitty-
likely it'll be like 100, maybe 90.
and it's crazy. Well, depending in 10 months,
She's
how
got
it
some
plays
hot
out.
friends too. I'm gonna try to bang at least one of them. I feel like.
Dude, can I crash it?
You're
Oh wait, I'm invited.
married.
I'm
Well, it's
invited.
like wedding crashers
And you're
too.
married.
Well, I'm not gonna like
No,
crash
I
it in the
understand.
intent of.
I got
He's
you.
Hispanic. Everyone has
Porking
a
around.
Sancho or
Actually,
Sancha.
we literally could just say you're a part of Fernando's family.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'll grow a little mustache.
You're like
even.
Tio Miguel's like son or something.
He looks good. Tio looks good over there. I don't know
Tio
what happened
does.
to him.
Tio does.
Should I wear a cowboy
He used
hat?
to be fat. Like he used to be
With a
huge.
PH.
Did he?
No, it was
he got
not a
that.
PH.
He got that surgery, right? He
Triple
looks
bypass,
great.
I think.
I wish I could get that
triple
for the big
bypass?
day.
Is that what you were saying? Or
Yeah, but I'm actually too skinny for that. I think it's the only thing I'm too
I
skinny
think
for.
you have to be like
Your BMI has to be 40.
600 Yeah, like
Your BMI has to be 40.
my
Okay,
600
well,
pound
we don't
life
need to talk
or
about
something.
fat anymore. This
Yeah.
is too
Oh,
much.
what is
I'm
it
gonna
too
lose
close?
weight before
Yes,
the wedding.
too
I
close.
promise. I
Two
promise.
of the people I love most are in danger of being overweight, so I don't like hearing jokes about it.
Okay,
Two
sorry,
of the people?
mister.
Yeah, two of the people I'm closest with.
Who? Me. I get me. He's so skinny. Oh my god.
You guys are assholes, dude.
I know.
I've
It's bad
been
when we
giving you
team
nothing
up.
but
It's dangerous when we
compliments.
team up.
Whatever,
When-
you've been
when
throwing
my
me
whole
under the
family's
bus
together.
this
Yeah,
whole
my whole.
episode.
Well, no. Here's the thing. When my whole family's fucking together, it is the shit on
when
Jen
we're
show.
can we not say when we're fucking together?
When we're all
Let's the shit on Jen.
comma.
Let's do what you just said. When my
When
whole
we're
family's
all
fucking together,
fucking
we all
together, we
shit
all
on
shit.
Jen.
Well, you have to insert
you
some
guys are into-
commas. Got to break up the clauses, okay, with some
Sad,
commas.
Come on.
But
put
when
your
we
mental
are
comma
all
into that.
freaking in the same room together,
Yeah.
that wasn't much better.
No, it wasn't. Maybe
Maybe
just say when
and
we're
I
all
said
together.
freaking.
Yeah.
I said freaking. So it honestly made it worse. It's like when we're freaking in the bedroom together.
We'd be freaking.
Well, I want to be
am the
invited to one of
butt.
these Gento orgies.
I am the butt of every. And it's a big butt
Okay.
of every joke.
of every joke.
So you
But
dish it out when you
Fernando,
can.
but Fernando, we
He's
kind of
the
pick
butt of
on
every-
quite a bit
I
now.
know. I feel so bad. Like I don't even know him. In the first day, I was already clowning on him. It's who I am.
I know.
It's who I
It's
am.
like you can't help yourself.
Yeah, you can try to, you asshole.
It's funny to me.
It is. It
And
is funny.
Fern is-
I'm lonely. That's all I got. Okay.
Oh no.
I'm the only
Yeah.
single person at the wedding. All right.
man.
So
No,
let
No,
me make
actually,
my
a lot of
jokes.
my friends are single. Christy and Erica are still both single.
Come on, dude.
What up,
I'm putting it
Erica?
on the pod.
What up,
They are
Erica?
both single and ready to. Allie Archer.
Ooh, Allie,
Hard pass.
I said full name.
Full name.
I know. Sorry.
Sorry.
Whoopsies.
Canceled.
Can we bleep that out?
Canceled.
She's also a famous blogger. Shit.
Oh,
Do you want me to
God.
leave- I can leave it out.
It's okay. We're fine.
47. Yeah, okay, I got you.
All right.
No
Whatever,
worries.
dude.
Woo!
Leave it in. Allie Archer.
Yeah, she's a blogger.
I don't now to do it again, you asshole. Stop it.
All right, stop. Whatever. Dude,
but-
why don't you... You
Yeah.
said her friends are hot, so
They're
why don't,
not.
why don't you...
They
That's
are.
not one of them.
Okay, we're not...
One of
that,
them,
that
though.
specific one, okay?
There's a specific one, also a little Latina lover.
Oh, damn.
That little chihuahua.
Damn. Y'all going interracial the other way,
She's
huh?
my
That
best.
should be a
She's
show.
my best friend. She's my
Rachel
best
the
friend.
other way.
That should be a show.
Picking bridesmaids is really stressful for me
I mean,
right
I've
now.
worn a dress in my time, so...
Well, all right.
what color
I'm
is
not-
it, though?
I don't know. Well, honestly, it all happened so quickly. I wasn't wanting to plan.
God,
and
that's...
and
yeah,
then
planning everything.
Then all of a sudden, I realized like everybody's pushing their wedding dates right now from like the fall to the spring, and I was like, well, we either get married in the spring, like I'm graduating from grad school. Selfishly plug.
Congratulations.
Thank you. In March. And so I was like, I don't want to get married before that. That's going to be too chaotic. So I was like, April, early May, or we have to wait until like November or December. Because I want it to be like where we can be outside a little bit, whatever. And so I just like happened to be like, well, May 1st, that sounds like a good date. You know, like why not?
It's a random May 1st.
And
The
it
day
happens to be on
JFK
a
got
Saturday.
shot in the head.
Was it really? I thought that was
No.
May 2nd.
I know.
Oh. I was like, I thought that was May 2nd of 1963.
Oh, wow.
It's not.
It was 1963, but I don't know when in
November.
1963. Okay, good. I know dates. MLK also got assassinated that year. Anyway,
He was murdered, not assassinated.
whatever. Everyone has to nitpick. Actually, that could get me canceled alone.
But it is crazy.
Murdered.
He was murdered
Assassinated.
by the CIA. Mafia. Pay
It's murder and assassination go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, I guess. But murder to kill and like a murder to kill is different than
Murder for hire?
murder
you
for
mean?
hire.
Yeah, I mean that's different. but-
Yeah.
So we went from my wedding to MLK Jr.'s assassination.
Y'all brought
murder.
up the dates, bro.
I
and
know.
I just
Well, are
like,
you weird about numbers and dates? Do you remember like numbers and dates very easily?
I remember the 5th. What's the saying?
Yeah, clearly not.
No.
So
Well, no,
so
I'm
May
weird.
1st.
Like, so Fernando the other day was logging on to his new like school. He's working at a new school this year,
Okay.
and they gave him like a district computer, and they gave him this weird code to log on, right? And I was helping him, so I remember typing it in. A month later, he asked me what the code was, and I still remembered it. Like, I'm really, really weird about
What you're
numbers.
saying is you're like Rain Man.
No.
Are you
saying-
like scared of certain numbers?
Not at all.
Are you
I've
just
no.
good at
I
remembering
just
numbers?
always remember dates and numbers and like.
Huh.
If you tell me your birthday
You
once,
just told me JFK was shot on.
I know, but that's a bad
Dude, come
example.
on.
I'm just saying in general, I'm good with numbers and dates. That's why I remember 1963. I got a lot of random trivia
What was
up
nine-
in here.
Oh, gotcha.
Same year, JFK and
Yeah.
MLK Jr.
Yeah. Don't give me that look, dude. Okay.
That was a little condescending.
It
huh?
was super condescending.
Sorry.
I don't know. I'm feeling sassy today.
Well,
Well, clearly, you've been dishing me under the bus.
I know, I'm really
I
sorry.
feel bad for you,
Well,
dude.
Whatever.
You're
dude.
just sitting right next to me.
I guess.
Geographical.
I did burp in your face, so I might
Yeah.
deserve it. And I had that vermicelli stench. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's a
saying?
lot.
Oof.
A little
It's a
too
lot.
Pork
Vermicelli.
Anyway, so you're getting married. Congratulations. That's
Thank
good.
you.
Going back to school.
I am very excited. Thank you.
Going back.
Yeah,
to
congrats.
Thank
Fernando
you.
sounds like a great
He's a good dude.
guy.
He
he's-
puts up with me.
Yeah, and it's a lot.
Are
She's
you a lot? Are
I
you?
am a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
And not in a bad
in
way.
what
She's
way, though? Like,
I'm a high maintenance. I'm super high maintenance.
Yeah.
I'm really working on it though. Actually,
but I feel like
had
he's a
coming
little
to
high
Jesus.
maintenance too.
No, he's
No,
not at
he's
all.
super chill.
He's like a
Okay.
fucking
Redneck.
Honda. He's. I shouldn't really call him a redneck. He
Make
gets
America
offended
great
by that.
again.
Yeah, he's MAGA. He's not.
MAGA. She said, "He's MAGA."
Yeah, MAGA. He's into that.
He's MAGA.
I don't know. He's a special
He's chill.
education teacher.
Yeah.
You know,
He's got
just
patience, is
super,
what you're
super
saying.
patient. I do nag him a little bit too much, and so we've been really working on that.
You better
to
be
honest
careful with
you.
that word.
No,
Okay. So.
Nag.
Yeah.
I
Oof.
have to beat that.
That's
beat that out,
close.
too.
Jeez Louise.
Sorry.
But also, he's like one of those people too. Is like he's such a nice, down to earth guy, and he's like you said, like you're way more woke than he is. Like he's not bothered with like politics or any of these like existential. It's like
I kind of like that though.
yeah, it's like a nice different. Probably like I mean
good.
for me, I always like I'm attracted to people that are like almost the same, which is actually toxic.
Yep.
It's because you feed off of each other on like your flaws. You almost fall in love with each other's flaws in a way because you both experience the same things.
Like depression, anxiety.
Exactly. So they actually
dependency on
understand it.
drinking.
You like my scars? I like yours, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how'd
And
you get
that's
that? Oh, it's a good story.
dangerous.
It
It's
is.
really-
It
and
is.
I was
we
the
know.
same way, and I was the same
he's
way.
told some stories. I'm like,
And I was
Yeah.
the same way, and that's why when I first started dating, I was like, God, he's not really into like art and
Right.
music.
That's my problem too.
He's-
I'm like,
yeah,
oh.
and it's hard sometimes, but it's honestly been the best because he listens to me and understands like how analytical I am, and he sometimes is a little too black and white for me for sure, but it's a good balance. Like we balance
Yeah.
each other out really well, and he puts up with me, and he really like now I'm getting all like
Well, you can learn something
He
from each
takes
other.
we're getting
He-
mushy now. I
he
like
just-
it.
but he takes me exactly how I am.
Yeah.
Like he just is so okay with
The definition of
how I-
unconditional love.
yeah, and it's
what
just
it should
it's
be.
just like it's really weird for me, and Nick knows this, and I'm getting like I haven't really like thought about as much as this means because marriage to me is really important. It's always been something I really wanted. I wanted like that lifelong partnership, and I was single for a really, really long time, and I was kind of getting depressed about it like a few years ago. Like I know I'm out there. I have a lot of personality. I'm bold. I'm loud. I'm very independent, even though like yes, I've boomeranged in and out of mom and dad's, but I'm very independent in the sense of like I like to travel, I like to be on my own, like whatever. But
Right.
I just was feeling really depressed about it. And then I met him, and literally, I'm not even kidding. Like instantly, I was like, "Yep,
Huh.
that's him."
When you know, dog. That's what
Yeah,
they've always
like,
said.
They always said that, and I never fucking believed that. Like, but yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know.
I think like the important thing about dating somebody or being with somebody married with somebody that is different from me, like you said, like, he's too black and white for you sometimes. Then that means on his end, you're probably a little too much sometimes. But the thing
Yeah.
that the beautiful part about that is like if you're in a relationship like that works, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years down the line, you're learning things inevitably through each other, then you start seeing through that a little bit. It's like that's the problem. Is like we want people to change instantly. We want people to see our point of view. But the thing is, sometimes it's just a little
without
seed.
us like saying anything.
Anything.
You expect that almost.
But just
Yeah.
planting that seed and like just getting that idea in their head that's something. Oh, maybe I've never thought about that before, and I still don't necessarily agree with it. But now I see her point of view, or vice versa, of that point of view. Then you keep on going a little bit farther, like okay. And that's the whole thing with changing and cancel culture. It's like we should always be evolving.
growing.
And the real
Forever
problem,
blossoming, bro.
the real problem is if you see a person that's getting canceled or for I don't know, sexually grooming people or
That was
like,
a nice
the
way
thing
of
is-
putting a sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Well, just because there's so many different forms of it, but if it's a trend that's happening over and over and over and over and over again, if you're abusive over and over and over and over again, if you're emotionally abusive over and over, you're like you need to you're a piece of shit. You need to work on yourself or something. You're not changing. But I think if there's examples. I don't know. That's the thing I guess too. Is like what's forgivable. I don't because there are things like you said. It's a bad example. Grooming under it. It's like that's
It's
actually
just-
not.
That's not
excusable.
forgivable because
Yeah.
it's ethical. It's like right
Right.
versus wrong, and of course,
Yeah, it's like that Shane Dawson fucking
right.
character that you brought up last week.
right
What's his name? Do you know it? Shane Dawson.
I think it is
Shane
Shane
Dawson.
Dawson.
It was yeah.
on
Yeah.
YouTube, right?
Yeah, and
I was a
yeah.
big fan.
And were you? He
I
was
used
talking
to be,
about
yeah.
how he was attracted to like 5, 6. He's like, I don't feel ashamed. Like I just think they're sexy.
I
About
think he
to
was
who,
trying.
young people.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
I didn't know
trying
about
to.
this.
He was trying to defend,
Pedophiles.
That's
like
not good.
pedophilia,
Yeah.
and like he's like, why does somebody that looks up Google's naked babies and masturbates to them?
Ah.
Like,
Sorry.
why did? Yeah, I
No,
don't even.
it's
I
really
shouldn't
not.
even be
That-
repeating this.
that
'cause he's
actually
probably
makes me,
taken out of
like-
context.
Yeah.
That makes me
Fuck
feel
that.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is really
Fuck,
nasty.
I
He
didn't
was
know
like-
that.
Yeah.
He was like defending. I don't know
When
what
did that?
platform.
When that happened?
Not too long ago.
A couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay, because
Yeah.
a lot of shit blew up last week with him. That's why I was confused.
That's
'cause
probably why. Yeah,
a bunch
It's,
of he's always been in like the negative spotlight, but I mean, going back to like the talking about
Let's get out of there.
yeah, sorry, yeah, it's just a dirty
get out
place
of
to
there.
be.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
for
want to be
sure.
there. Especially I work with kids too, and I get
Yeah.
so pissed when I hear
I
about
can-
that
I can
shit. I
imagine.
get like
As you should.
mama bear.
Why
like,
aren't we more pissed?
should be
Yeah.
Why are we
fucking.
more
We
pissed
should
about
be
Jeffrey
living.
Epstein and
Oh
these
my God,
high
I know.
government people that have been
Totally normal.
Maxwell. Yeah.
Yeah, the Maxwell thing and Trump being like, I didn't know her.
Yeah, and that
shit.
You're
Steve
in
Bing
pictures
dying.
with her.
Yeah, I know.
Steve Bing dying 2 weeks prior to that. Jeffrey Epstein's personal chef randomly dying.
Yeah, not at all weird. Money controls everything. But
the UN guy just can't an old UN dude in the UN, can't remember his actual position, just got arrested, and he had a 14 and 12-year-old sex slave with him that they freed. It's just like, dude, why? But why is this a fucking louder message?
but
Yeah.
like sex
We'll talk-
trafficking.
That's the thing.
Why don't we talk about that?
It's the
It's always been the
biggest
loudest,
It's
yeah.
the biggest market.
Desert Ridge is like the #1 place in Arizona
for real?
sex trafficking.
Crazy.
15 minutes from where I live. Why
Yeah.
the fuck are we not talking about that? My students
Because the
hang out
Confederate
there.
flag.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, not
It's the
sympathizing for
narrative.
the
It's the
Confederate flag,
narrative. It's the
but
narrative.
sex trafficking. But it's like these are
cover-ups.
these are things that we should be talking about. But it's like
Distractions.
it's all the
But
fucking
even
it's the
teachers
government,
and stuff,
man.
we were all talking about. I mean, we'll transition out of that. I have to say one comment about the opposite things, though. About the two people who are opposite
Oh, yeah, falling
or
in love
have,
with the yeah.
with that have different mindset and
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that. Not only one have I seen Fernando grow a little bit,
Blossom.
and he does blossom. That's like literally the key word this episode. He does not always agree with me, and it's hard sometimes for me not to. But we really, really respect each other's opinions, and we can have really educated, good conversations about. Like today, we had a great conversation about education and poverty and Black Lives Matter. Deep thoughts. But we had a really good
We'll keep
conversation.
it off the podcast.
And we never, we never ever like name call or condescend or say you're wrong or like we're really good about being just like, and it's hard for me. 'Cause
Respective, yeah.
I'm a very passionate person. I can get heated sometimes. Like you see me get with Dad.
But name
right?
calling is not passion. That's
not. It's-
misguided.
it is.
And so that's the thing. Like we in very early episodes of this, we talk about this, like normalizing calling your
Girlfriend
a
or
bitch.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
it's horrible.
normal. You should never.
He's never called me that. No.
Yeah.
But when we're young, we do.
Now,
stupid
can you
things.
say like, oh, she had a bitchy attitude?
Yeah, like I'll like sometimes he'll be like, "You were acting kind of like a," and like he'll stop.
He just has different words for it.
But it's never like
perspective
It's
again.
not
You
like,
were acting like a puta.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
But it's not like at you, like you're fuck you, like
Right,
you're being
no,
a bitch.
no.
You're fuck you. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. That's dirty to me, and I think it's a really
Well, I speak from
Bad place to
experience. Like
go.
it was a bad place to go. It was always kind of just
Shouldn't be desensitized.
desensitized. Not only that, but it was like I didn't always look at her in that way, but it played into maybe some fights or some arguments or something like that. We didn't meet on the same point of view or something, and then that's when it gets heated and passionate, and those words
messy.
are easier to come out if you were normalizing it.
Yeah.
Obviously. So we've tried both very hard not to
Name call.
anymore.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
yeah,
not. It's
and
not
I've
always
talked
easy.
to Nick about this too,
Yeah.
and
It's not always easy, but yeah, it's one thing for me. I think that's a little too public, but like mom and dad, they definitely argue quite a bit and they name call. And I always saw that and I was like, I don't like that.
It's the thing that I think that's the thing that we learned from our parents' generation.
Yeah.
Because that's a big name calling thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a different time. I feel like
It's mostly to the women too, I feel like.
Well, it's also just we're way more aware of people's feelings because we talk on them more than that
used
generation
to.
did. I don't
Yeah.
feel, I feel like talking down to people and calling people out and ending a conversation by just yelling at them and calling them names means you win the conversation.
Right.
yeah.
And it doesn't work that way.
And it just feels
You
nasty.
stupid fucking son of a bitch.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't fucking work that
Fucker.
way. Are you stupid? It's like,
Yeah.
get out of here.
Fuck you.
Also,
I
what
was right.
are we going back to school?
Yeah.
School
School's
What are the
out forever.
ever.
Yeah,
No, it's
seriously.
not because they want teachers to die.
snap.
My favorite meme I've seen this is why do they think it's safe to go back to school when we're still doing the how to go back to school in Zoom chats?
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, no, all my training that starts in 2 weeks is online. But then 2 weeks after that, I'm supposed to go back to school in
You're
person.
in the trenches, baby, huh?
Yeah, well,
That's great. And Fernando, this baby it didn't mean anything. Like that's what I say sometimes.
Yeah.
No,
it's
so
okay.
if he,
no.
but
Watch out.
What are the watch out? What are the new regulations? What are the new standards? Because like they're trying to get like kindergartners to wear masks like the whole day. Like that's gonna be.
Has the kindergarten even died from coronavirus either?
I don't know. But
But it's
all they're
the
gonna be doing.
teacher.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be like chewing on their mask, flicking it at people,
Yeah.
losing it on the playground. Like
It's gonna be a mess. Well,
that's what it's gonna
Boogers.
be. Like what? Yeah, boogers and like eating off of it. and shit.
yum.
Ew.
They.
And then the parents. Not even to mention like forget about the kids. The
What, are you
parents.
No, I don't know. No, I'm fine. I'm in
I'm
there.
kind of lost in this year, but it's fine.
I know,
can
me
still
too.
hear
I
it.
don't know what happened.
Me too. On my right ear.
Yeah,
Oh, same.
weird. Okay,
Okay.
Huh.
glad
Well,
we're all going through.
Cute.
it.
all in this
Technical
together.
difficulty.
That was on TV last night, and I'm not ashamed. I watched it. Okay.
What'd you watch?
High School
There we
Musical.
go.
That's what that song was from.
Oh, I have no idea what that was.
We're all in
What year did you graduate from
this
high school?
together.
Oh, wait.
High School Musical came out in 2007. Little fun trivia
So you're
fact for
2000
you.
and late.
Maybe it was 2006. You were 2000 and late. Okay. Teachers
was
know
that?
nothing. That's Black Eyed
The
Peas.
parents. Yeah.
Parents are everything in this decision, and the reason why teachers are so upset right now. My favorite meme about this whole thing was, in February 2020, teachers were seen as babysitters. April of 2020, they were seen as like everyone was like godsends, need to make more money,
yeah.
and then it was like July 2020, sacrificial lambs or something like that. Because
Every
Because-
essential employee, though,
every
Yeah,
percent.
a lot.
And-
it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
What
And-
the money that's sorry.
no,
I'll
go ahead, go
off
ahead.
on the-
No, go ahead. Because I feel the same way.
Because, dude, the essential workers that have been in the fucking trenches since quarantine, since lockdown, the people that are still going, have to keep on going to pay their bills. To
provide, yeah.
To fucking make a pizza, to make a taco, I'm risking my life. Because I have no
Yeah.
other choice. These are all the people, and these are the people that society needs. That's why we're essential businesses. That's why schools still remain. That's why restaurants still open, grocery stores, Costco still open. All the fucking essentials, the necessities. What's the fucking word?
necessary. The necessary people?
No, the
Necessities.
necessities.
Necessity.
Thank you.
Come on, bare
sucks when I-
necessities,
Yeah,
y'all.
that's
Come
what I was
on.
thinking of too.
the fucking bare necessities of life, dude. That the people that are providing, we're risking our lives, and we can fucking barely pay our bills.
Yep.
We're and there's money.
problem.
There's
And people
clearly
are-
money
Yeah, because people on unemployment are fucking.
making more than I make a week.
See, this is probably something I shouldn't say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Dun dun dun. Why are we fucking protesting that shit?
Watch out. Okay.
I'm sorry.
We tried to, like,
why
Red for
are we
Ed, but
not-
nobody gives a shit.
Well, the problem with Red for Ed, and I will speak out on that, is they did something that you can't do. Because what they were trying to do, and I respect what they were trying to do, of course.
Yeah.
What
As a
they did at
teacher, yeah.
first had a great approach. It really brought teachers together on the same page. We marched together. We did get a little bit of
Cool bumper stickers.
Yeah, woo! T-shirts. What happened is it became way too political.
This is every group.
And every group becomes too political. Exactly.
And they start pushing too far.
And
start
so then
trying
the
to do too much.
conservatives and other people are
Yeah.
never going to side with them
Yeah.
because they're not saying neutral enough. And I understand to get angry and frustrated. And no, I agree with you 100%. For me, what's frustrating is I interact with 200 kids a day. Okay. In a regular school year, last year alone, before the pandemic, I had strep throat twice, 2 sinus infections, an ear infection, and I think I had the flu. So I had 6 illnesses.
Great immune
from,
system.
Yeah. From August to February. I was that
That's
sick.
crazy.
I had a really bad year.
Yeah.
That was the most I've ever gotten sick in a school year.
Yeah.
I try to clean my classroom regularly. I don't know. And the whole thing about them giving us masks and more hand sanitizer. I've been buying my own hand sanitizer since I started teaching. I buy my own Kleenex every year from Costco. So they're saying that they're going to give us more and they're going to clean more. If you saw the state of my classroom when I first moved into that classroom almost now 3 years ago, you would be appalled. I mean, it looks like I teach in like an inner city, low-funded school, and I work in an all-white, upper middle class neighborhood. So that's the problem.
So
It's like-
imagine
imagine the inner city school.
kids,
The Confederate flag makes sense.
right.
Continue.
So they haven't. To be honest with you, we haven't been in the forefront of the decision at all. They sent out a parent survey before they even sent out a teacher survey.
So you're officially opening and
We're officially starting online August 5th.
okay.
But with the
that's what
governor's order, we're supposed to be able to go back into school as of now on August 17th. So I don't know. Trust me. the
Isn't
amount
that a regular school year though?
It is, yeah. So they didn't. I know because again, it's always about the parents, and the parents would bitch if we started school later than August 5th. So we're doing school so that we get out the same time, right, at
Gotcha,
the end
yeah.
of the year. So
We have our summer vacation planned. I
Exactly.
always bang the same pool boy, and he's only
Exactly.
off for 2 weeks.
sign me up. So,
Married woman over here.
yeah,
guys.
I know.
Not yet.
That's a bad joke. I make jokes like that. It's like too easy. But, that's the problem. It's like the teachers feel like they're not being put in the decision. And really what we should be doing, but we're not, is instead of being like, how are my kids going to be at school for 8 hours so I can have free babysitting? Instead of focusing on that problem, how about we focus on the fact that education hasn't changed for 70 fucking years and there needs to be so much reconstruction and progression and change,
crazy.
and they will
Revision.
not.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Revision.
will not. And
Because it's indoctrination.
exactly. And they want
You
to.
ain't American. No, but it's so
They-
crazy. It's like the things that we learn as kids when we get older, and that like a simple example: George Washington's teeth, the wooden
made
teeth.
from
And I'm always like, oh yeah, wooden teeth. That makes sense. Like literally, until probably a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, he bought slave teeth.
Yeah.
well, it's because our textbooks are written by white people, and then most teachers are white. And
Dude,
even
we
though
have
we're-
to come out winning. We
Yeah,
have to come out.
exactly.
That's the only
The
way to make
hero.
you a
I
patriot.
know.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why school, like homeschooling, has skyrocketed in the
Right.
past years. Like,
Uh-oh.
well, then you get the social. Well, it's all in how you raise your fucking child.
Kids.
dude.
Yeah, no, for 100%.
The problem is
100%.
our education system, and it's funny because Fernando and I talked about this morning. I don't like the idea of what they call choice schools. It's a huge conservative movement where little Johnny, who lives in the inner city, if he wants, he doesn't have to go to the school down the
little.
block. I don't know why I said that, but
called little people.
Johnny lives in the inner city, right? Johnny has a school that's 3 blocks away that he can walk to, but that's a public school that's really underfunded. But if the government were to give a check to Johnny's parents and they could choose where they sent Johnny to school, I'm actually really against that. I think it's really stupid. I think they should just well fund the school down the
Exactly.
street
Right.
and put money there. Because what they're doing by doing choice is what happened in Detroit is they opened all these charter schools. And then what happened was all the public schools were failing even more. And if you live in a neighborhood where people don't really care or value education, your parent doesn't give a fuck.
Arizona.
They're not going to send you to the Catholic school or the charter school 20, 30 minutes away.
right.
Mom and dad got to go to work. You're
you
going to
know?
walk your ass to the
you know,
school.
little
Yeah.
Jimmy?
Right.
And we're going to pocket that check.
And that's the problem. So school choice is really stupid. The problem is we should have more choices. So for a kid, they're in 8th grade, they're about to go into high school. This happens in every other country in the world except ours because we love to be different and
Oh, yeah.
worse.
Fuck the metric
So
system,
in
dude.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That is the most, as someone who's traveled a lot, is the most frustrating thing on
I
the
can
planet.
imagine. Yeah. Fractions were
But
never my thing.
in 8th grade, if a student had the choice, okay, little Susie, whatever their name is, Susie, Johnny, Bobby.
None of
I
these
don't-
people are
whatever.
inner city
I
kids.
don't know.
Johnny,
No, I'm-
Susie.
now-
There
but
ain't
now-
no inner city
but
Susie
now I'm
running
ta-
around.
okay.
She doesn't want to get
I don't want to be
canceled,
racist.
dude. Yeah.
Fair,
I don't want to
fair,
use like
fair. I
said
quintessential stereotypical
Fair.
names.
Props.
Woke,
That's
dude.
good. That's
Hella
hella
woke. Look
That's-
at this.
Those are my slip-ups.
But
But little Johnny or little
it's not
Susie.
even that. I'm talking about every kid. Every kid in 8th grade. If they had the choice of, okay, Susie. I use this example, whatever. Her name's Susie.
Kimberly.
Susie is a 2.9 student. Really only likes
Killing it.
only likes
Killing
the
Susie.
Pregnant.
She go to North Canyon.
you guys gotta hear me out.
I know. Sorry,
Okay,
you're
sorry,
doing
yeah,
good.
no,
You
sorry.
are doing good.
Because I'm talking about systemic
know.
change in education. It needs to
why
happen.
this is why there's no change. There's dumb fucks
I mean,
like
I'm
me and Pedro
here.
running around.
Okay. As much as I disagree with the conservatives' ideal that if they give you a check, you can choose where you want to go to school because it's not accessible. Yes, they might give you money, but you still have to consider, transportation and extracurriculars and all that. It's not going to pay for it all. So why wouldn't we change our system completely and say, if Susie is not a math and science, if Susie is not a math and science person, why on earth are we sending Susie and so many other students to a traditional public high school where they have math, science, English, and it's just general education?
Yeah.
What is that doing for Susie for when she graduates with a 2.5, doesn't go to college, then she's working some dead-end job that in 10 years probably won't exist because of technology?
Yeah.
Why on earth are we just continuing to teach the exact same
So
bullshit?
what do they do in other countries?
Well, other countries, most people, when you're about 14, 15 before high school, you can have the decision to do a few things, depending on what country you're in. Most countries, it says at 15, you can choose, okay, do I want to go to a science and math high school because that's my strength, and I can study science specific, like engineering or mathematics?
Yeah.
Do I want to go to a liberal arts school? Do I want to talk, or do I want to go to like a social, structure school where I can talk about social justices and maybe get a degree in social work? Or you can go to an English school where you can have a writer.
cool.
Yeah, they
specialize.
specify. Yeah.
So that's
your-
9th,
it's
10th,
your
11th,
strength.
12th grade?
Yeah.
So
4
that's
years?
just
It's
brief.
different.
That's just
It's different in different countries. It's mostly three.
Three that you do, kind of that?
Italy, it's
And
5
then
years
do they go
in high
to a
school.
college still? Do they
They
go to like
can,
a
yeah.
tech school or something too?
But most people graduate at 18 and can get a good, well-paying job,
Right.
Because they went
See, that's
through.
dumb. That's where I have to disagree with you.
Really?
You shouldn't be able to have a well-paying job.
Not
if you're
well-paying, but-
working 40 hours a week, you shouldn't be able to provide for yourself.
You're joking,
Yeah.
right? Okay. I was like, Jesus. I had a drink
it's
and a
so
half.
fucking stupid. It's so
Well,
stupid. That's like
and
that's
that's
what
the
I was talking about
problem.
the essential workers.
And that's
it
the problem.
Fucking boils my blood.
But
dude.
why wouldn't we then, as
So you're saying our system just provides a whole bunch of essential workers?
pretty much, it's
Like
a
it produces.
small.
Our educational system produces essential workers.
It produces a small population of students who can go off and work for those tech companies and go to great colleges, and most of that is going to be privileged because it's going to be in the white neighborhoods in upper class America that those paths are available. 26% of our nation or 27% of our nation has a college degree, and we push all the time, especially in these public schools, how important college is. But that's not the narrative we really should be pushing, because a lot of these kids go to college and drop out. And then they're in debt, and then they're working as an essential job, and they can't pay off their debt.
I do want to stop like the whole essential. I don't want to discredit essential workers.
Not
No,
at
no,
all.
no,
Not
that's
at
not what I'm
all.
The thing is that it is work. The thing is that I have a problem with that. Everybody, we need these jobs.
need
That's
those
the thing.
people.
They're actually important jobs. The problem is that they're either in college debt for $40,000-$50,000, and now they're making $10 an hour. They can barely pay their bills, and maybe they want to start a family.
Right.
There's no
And
possible
they
way to
can't.
start a family.
Yeah.
So that's my issue
Well,
with
and
it.
that's why the giving more choice, but making it accessible is not only going to build a society where we have people that are feeling as if they're essential, right? So you can go to school to study culinary, you can go to school to study welding and trades and things like that, but you can also, at 15, if you decide, why go to traditional high school? If you're not an academic,
Yeah.
and you are
Right.
okay with working at, like in Italy, you can work in a cafe. They're called bars in Italy, but a cafe where you serve coffee and sandwiches, and you can live comfortably.
It's
you
called
can
Starbucks here.
Yeah, well, right,
And
you
they
can,
should have enough money to give
and they
to their
should,
employees.
and they
Yeah.
should, and that's the problem. It's like there's so many everything that's going on in the world right now, I'm really strongly believe this. Everything. We talk about systemic racism. We talk about the system of the poor being poorer and the rich being richer. If we reevaluated, I'm like getting so like into this right now.
Dude,
if we reevaluated our education system and just threw out the system that we have created because it's stupid and archaic and doesn't work. Okay, if we were to change it, we wouldn't have all these problems that we have.
Yeah.
We would have people living comfortably. Like, people bitch about welfare all the time, but we have welfare because we give people these shitty jobs that they don't have enough money to provide for their family, so therefore they're on welfare.
Right, that's systemic
welfare.
Yeah.
Exactly. Welfare would not exist if you let Susie, who works at Chick-fil-A, make $45,000 a year, maybe even more, and she can have kids and have health insurance.
Right.
And
Right. It's
and
the
be
greed.
just fine.
It's all greed. That's
all
what
greed.
That's what
And
America's
they won't
made
give
off
us,
of.
and they won't give us the money to even change our school system. And that's the sad part, because now we're sending kids, and I see it every day, go through our traditional school system and fail. We're setting them up to fail because we're saying, you know what?
You're
not an academic. You're not that smart. So you're going to become a quote unquote essential worker that is put at the bottom, but really they shouldn't be put at the bottom. We should say, you know what? You're not an academic. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But
Let's
what
do some
skills?
trade.
What
Yeah.
skills
Trade-
do you
trade
have?
schools. Push
Right.
trade schools.
Nurse.
I've always
Be a
said that.
nurse.
Right. Like, what skills do you have that you can can work a
Contribute.
computer?
Yeah,
you
you
can
can-
communicate well with others. Like, what skills are you that you have can make you the best damn Chick-fil-A worker there is?
Yeah.
But we've built it up as this thing that's less than and that you
Exactly.
can barely
That's
afford.
what it is, yeah.
And it's nasty, and I don't like it.
What's the whole thing with, like, even people say, well, fast food is for 16, 15-year-olds.
It's
It's
not.
like, no, it's not, because
29 is the average age for a fast food worker in America.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
I'm angry. But
No.
school.
Spit it out.
We should
And
all
you
be
can
angry about
You can
it.
look at the camera more. If you just want to talk directly into the camera,
Yeah.
that's great.
This is my platform. I think I'm running for mayor.
Not after this
Well,
point.
you're
Remember,
the-
we did start with periods.
We did start with
We
periods, and I
finally
think I
hit
talked
a
about drugs.
serious point.
We did.
An hour and a half.
About
in.
at the end.
Well, that's okay. It takes some time to wiggle into it.
It does.
but-
It does.
Yeah, it's just there's so much to be done, and I really do think this systemic racism, this richer, poorer,
I
don't see
it
it
comes
ending.
from it comes
It
it does
comes
end
from
either.
education. It
does.
stems from
I really
education.
do think it
Yeah,
stems
I
from
believe that.
education.
Yeah.
And the problem is that and we continue to pay teachers also an extra
That's-
in my
yeah.
opinion, and I'm
It's
not just saying that because I am
So
a teacher.
much. They make so much money.
They
It's
make
ridiculous.
Too
Yeah.
much. I
Like,
almost feel
look
like
at this. Like, it's ridiculous.
I almost feel like they should be getting since they're teaching our youth, that should be payment enough. I
Yeah,
almost
it
feel like.
honestly
Yeah,
should
it's
be
a
like
gratification.
Hashtag stop paying
it should be
teachers.
it should be like charity work.
Hashtag defund the teachers.
Defund the teachers.
Every
Please
year
don't.
that
I
they
need to pay
have-
my bills.
That's
well,
the
they-
other crazy
they
part.
did.
That it's been defunded so much
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
Well, and people all the time, especially conservatives, say, "Oh,
It's not even a joke.
No.
We've put so much money into education." And the problem is, our education systems are becoming a little greedy too, because our superintendent makes $250,000 a fucking
there
year,
you go. See, it's always the guy at
and
the
then I
top.
make 37. Okay,
for
and
babysitting your motherfucking kid.
Pretty
200
much.
kids.
and
That's a
the
pretty good
fuck
again,
babysitting job.
I would say actually no.
You're complaining?
Some
I know.
babysitting
No,
jobs
I
will pay
know.
like $20-25 an hour.
No, for sure.
And again, we would have, if we had a system that was created for kids to succeed in places where they could succeed and not in a traditional school setting, not only would we have more engaged students,
yeah.
we would have more effective students, and we
Efficient
would,
students,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we would have teachers that actually want to fucking teach,
Yeah.
because they would be inspired by like, wow, I
This
can
kid-
go work somewhere
That's
where
what
people
money would do for everything. Everybody.
everything.
For every fucking
Everybody,
job.
yeah.
The person that's bagging your groceries that you get pissed because they put the eggs on the bottom or something. It's like-
cares? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
they-
valuing your employees,
That's Lil
valuing
Johnny,
your people.
dude. Lil Johnny's
That's
Lil
like
back
Johnny.
groceries.
drop out at 16. because
Well,
hat on
Arizona
backwards.
drop out of 16.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's got 3 kids. What else is he going to do?
Well, that's the problem too. It's like people are like, well, Johnny can go to night school. How the fuck's Johnny gonna go to night
Yeah.
school?
Yeah.
Johnny got the time for
Johnny's a
night school.
SoundCloud
Yeah,
rapper.
exactly.
This shit's going to pop off.
It's
see
all of a
his
sudden,
tattoo?
it's coming up.
You see his new tattoo, man?
He got that face tattoo. He knows that he's committed. Little
I
JJ.
know.
Yo, that's for the Jimmy John's logo. Oh, shit. I didn't know that, dog.
I love Jimmy John's. I
Jimmy
do.
John's
I
We
really
just
do.
went from
over-
systemic racism
I
to the
do.
problem to the education system
Yeah.
to loving Jimmy John's. That's what I love about this podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I love about
We're
you
bouncing
people.
around, doggy.
That's what we do.
I like that though. It's comfortable.
Well, we get serious because we are serious. That's the thing that you know, there's different sides of people.
You sound a little raspy, dude. Are you good? Are you good?
I'm
He sounds like me. We're related.
What?
Yeah, but
That was, don't even go there. The amount of students that make fun of my voice too.
What's the best one? What's the best?
yeah,
don't-
have you
wait,
had
wait,
it?
wait,
for-
wait.
They don't
That or-
They don't tell you.
impersonate.
What's
But
you
the
ever hear
worst diss that you got? Can you say that?
oh, I can say it. I hope she's watching. No, I'm just kidding. She dropped out.
Listen, bitch. No.
She
dropped
this
out.
girl-
Actually,
was
if
pregnant.
you're listening, we love you. Fuck her.
Yeah,
First of
exactly.
all, but what did she say?
She
Our
sent me-
lovely fan.
She sent me an email, and the subject line was "your muffin top." Right, your though. Impressed.
Okay.
Your
Nice.
muffin top, and then she said, "I hope all your pets outlive you."
Damn.
Damn, dude. That's
Yeah.
a harsh email from a freshman.
Your muffin top. I mean, come on. I always wear high waisted pants. I know I don't got a muffin top.
Yeah,
Okay?
listen, bitch.
Yeah, it was funny.
She was projecting
Yeah.
her insecurities on you.
She
That's
was-
what
what
you
it
do
was.
learn that.
Well,
when
the
you get
best,
older.
the best is when I told my assistant principal that she goes, "Well, she ain't no skinny thing." I was like, "All right."
Yeah.
We love your muffin top.
Yeah,
baby.
your muffin top makes you
Bro,
special.
she's underage. Stop.
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, don't be weird.
Yeah.
Nick the Leo
we
over
were
here.
That one was pretty bad. I do sometimes, and I'll be honest with you, I'm short and I'm a female. So I have had a few male students try to play an intimidation kind of card on me, especially
Oh,
when,
you've said
when
that
I taught
before.
juniors and seniors, especially 17, 18-year-old boys. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they wouldn't be okay with the
They're on
grade
top
their,
of the world, dude.
Yeah, and
That's
they're
kind of fucked. That's really weird.
oh, I had this one story of a kid.
Say his name. Shout him out.
I'm not allowed
Come
to.
on.
Basically, I'm not allowed to.
Legally, she's not
Actually, legally, I'm not allowed to.
Yes.
He's like six.
We're getting
He's
somewhere.
probably like 6'2", 6'3", tall guy.
Yeah.
I'm 5'3" for context. And he didn't like his grade on his essay. And we're standing at the front of the room because everyone had exited, which also is you're not allowed to do. If you only have one student in your room, you're actually told to prop the door open because you're not supposed to be in the room without other people in there or
Yeah.
whatever. So a lot of times I'll go into the hallway or something like that when I need to have a conversation with a student.
Yeah.
Because the problem is you just can't trust anything
Oh,
they
no,
say.
100%.
So, but he started kind of hovering over me, looking down at me and trying to intimidate me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I said,
The balls on this.
and that's what I
motherfucker.
said. And I mean, I didn't say the balls, but I said, first of all, if you're gonna come here with these sort of allegations about a grade, one, you need to have some
That means we're near the end. So, but
some legs to stand on.
Yeah.
You know, you need to have some real evidence to prove like why you deserve
Yeah.
a better grade.
Uh-huh.
And
Not
second
just 'cause
of
you're
all,
upset of your
and a
grade.
second of all, I need you to step at least 6-7 feet away from me when we have this
Pre-corona,
conversation. This
too.
is
This is
pre-corona.
pre-corona.
This is like
Wait, dude,
2017.
super
Woke.
Super woke.
That's like 2017.
first of all, 6 feet and mask up, bitch, before you start coming at me.
But yeah, I've had that situation on
Yeah.
now freshmen, which are my favorite to teach. I'm biased, but I adore teaching the freshmen, and I know we're about to run out of time, but they would never in a million years, the boys, because they don't have their growth spurt until
Yeah.
sophomore
They
year.
haven't
bloomed.
They haven't bloomed
They
yet.
haven't bloomed, dude.
Not at all. The freshman boys are just like
Oh yeah.
awkward
Smoked
and
weed
tiny.
once.
Dude, pre-bloom.
Yeah,
Pre-bloom.
pre-bloom.
One hit.
It's adorable.
And you're in fucking heaven, dude.
Well, I don't talk about their drug usage, but
We do.
yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
I was
And
one of those
and
boys.
I'm talking about personal experience.
Exactly.
As well, so
Yeah, you were there once. I was not.
YA.
YA,
smoking.
coming of age,
forever blooming, baby. You know?
always.
Well,
Sempre.
Jen, it was,
Siempre.
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 it was great having you on again.
This was fun.
Well,
I
it was
got
a good
I got a
time.
little heated about
It's been a lo-
education. I'm
it's been a
sorry.
long
No,
time.
you were. I mean, you're in.
I
the,
don't know how
you're
to
in
do
the
it
right.
though. I don't
you're
know
in the
how to
right.
do it. How do
I'd
we
say.
change it?
Yeah.
I'd say yeah.
That's the problem too. We don't
You
know
can't
shit.
change it because money.
Keep talking about it. I think that's
Bruh,
the.
cash rules everything around me, bro.
Maybe I should start my own podcast.
I think no,
Dude.
honestly, like don't compete with us. But
We
no,
would not
no,
be in
no,
the same
keep
genre.
talking about that's the
Nah.
thing. Keep having these conversations. Keep making people aware.
You asshole.
Keep planting the seed. Keep telling people about
Yeah.
these ideas, and that way they keep on growing. Because then more and more people will get behind it. Then all of a sudden, when the the general consensus of is that, then
Yeah.
You know what? Write a letter to your congressman, man.
fuck that. Fuck the Congress, dude.
I
They're all
know.
pedophiles.
Oh God.
All are.
Anyways,
Well,
Jen,
2021.
Pedro,
Jen,
it was real.
I'm pretty upset
Pedro.
you didn't wear your mask when you came in, but
I know. I'm sorry. It's in my purse at all times.
whatever, dude. Sure.
I have 3 masks in my purse. I'm always prepared.
It's a little excessive,
Okay.
but
Sounds like you're too prepared.
we love you.
Kind of scary.
Thanks for listening.
Te amo.
And
Te amo. Amor y
Amor y
Paz.
Paz.
Mm.
Amor.
Amor. Amore.
Paz.
Amore. No, that's Italian.
What's
Yeah.
Amor y Paz in Italian?
I don't know how to say
Peace
peace.
and love.
I don't know how to say peace in Italian, actually.
Woke over here doesn't know.
I
fucking
know.
word
Yeah,
for
probably
peace.
Paz.
I have to look it up now because I feel stupid. But amore is love.
Amor y Paz.
Amor y Paz.
Bitches.